Hello again for the second time tonight. I thought I'd quickly have a look and get the CAV-EQ done while we have completion on to get my units and revive out of, although I've already got my revive out of it. So yeah, I thought I would quickly run through this lot and then do a dual class crystal opening at the end. Although I don't know why special 3? Why? I suppose it could work at the sort of latter end, but so yeah, we're just gonna smash straight into this. Try and get it done as quick as can, and then yeah, hopefully this won't take too long, and I might end up doing another stream after this for Arena, if we're not all talked out by then. But yeah, just did the boss rush challenge. If you haven't seen that, go check out that video because that's quite funny. It took probably about the whole of about 8 minutes to do all of it. Right, what am I looking for? Revives. Yeah, that was very, very funny. If you've got Apocalypse, Archangel, Void, and Professor X, you can pretty much walk through that challenge. It's generally a really short one. But if you haven't got Professor X, then Havoc would work. But most people should have a Void by now. He's quite an old champion. I don't know if I've gotten any revives out of here. Rubbish. So, I'm just going to get straight into it. I'm not going to bother trying changing all of my team around, not until the next one. Go with Apocalypse and break his block. Oh yeah, definitely an easy boss challenge if you've got the right champions. But I did catch Seaton's stream, or like the first sort of 4 fights of it, I think it was, and watched him sort of struggle with it. But to be fair, I would have done the same thing if I hadn't have seen that video. Then I would have took Torch for Sorcerer Supreme as well. But then upon seeing that and seeing the Arc Overload on it and all that sort of stuff, then your first instinct's to go straight to Void. Chewy Horseman. Yeah, let's Horseman Cable. Just for fun. Nalo, hello, how are you? I don't think I've seen you in the chat for a while. I remember your name though, and that's saying something. Because I haven't, I'm not very good with names. Not very good with names at all. So, yeah, haven't really planned out tonight yet. Depending on how long this takes to do, is whether we'll go into Arena for a later stream. But I'm waiting to hear back. I'm waiting to hear back from someone regarding incursions, because I haven't done them in a long while. I'm good. How about yourself? I'm good, man. Yeah, I'm good. I don't know if you caught the stream or the end of the stream yesterday. Finished off Abyss Path 4, which was cool. Didn't really go that well, if I'm honest. I made a lot of mistakes, and then I played through into being too tired. So then I was making more and more and more mistakes. And because I didn't have a counter for Bishop, he absolutely tore me apart. But I still hit on a nail on the head with the amount of units that's advised. They say 6,000, 6 to 7,000 for that path, and I hit it right on the nose, pretty much at 6,000. Oops! Oh yeah, he hasn't got his charges, has he? So it wasn't too bad, but I could have done a lot better than that, really. I only completed Labyrinth of Legends for the first time yesterday. Nice, well done. Who did you use for it? The thing is with Labyrinth of Legends in today's sort of champion list, if you've got Aegon, Heimdall, because I did it a very long time ago. But if you've got them champions, the team I did it with was Aegon. I did it with Aegon, Heimdall, Angela, Hela, and Proxima, and I just did the whole lot with Aegon. Killed off the rest of the team. So you had the cheat death and then like 40% life left if you got that far. It'd regen you straight back to about 40%, I think it was. Depending on where your masteries were at. And yeah. And I actually had a bet with someone not actually that long ago. I think it was only about sort of 4 or 5 weeks ago. And I did the whole easy path with 2 revives. And that was only because I got copped by by Maestro. I used a pretty stacked roster, I know, but anyways, I used Gilly 2099, She-Hulk, Falcon, Nick Fury, and Quake. Do you know what? I want to try Falcon in there just to see. I bet his stacks go bonkers in there. Gilly 2099. I'd imagine she'd be quite good, but I still would think that would be quite slow overall. And once you've seen that special 3 animation like 10 times, then you're quite sick of it. They should have made that a bit shorter if that's the way you're supposed to play her. A 6-star rank 2 Gilly. 6-star rank 2 Gilly, Falcon, and She-Hulk, but rank 5 Nick with 4-star Quake for the Synergy Evade. Yeah, that is a little bit stacked. That's a little bit past the requirements for Labyrinth. But then what's the big question is how many revives did you use? Because it's a horrible thing now going through Labyrinth, because the rewards now seem so meh, which is a shame, really, because Labyrinth, I used to love Labyrinth. I pretty much lived in there for months, because that was the only sort of bit of content that I really liked that was long. And then Abyss came out, and they kind of ruined that with the hit counter cap, the 200 hits, which sucked. Oh yeah, it's got a falter on it, isn't it? I forgot about that. Well, I used like 3 revives on Magic because I don't have Aegon, using Falcon, and then 3 revives on Maestro. See, 3 revives on Maestro is pretty good going. Magic just sucks if you don't have a counter for her. But yeah, I haven't visited Labyrinth for quite some time, not since that little bet anyway. I'm going to get any revives again. I don't know if it's just me, but the last 2 months or 3 months, they've been really stingy with the revives. I think I only got like 2 out of the last months. So 6 total. Yeah, that's still pretty good. But people say now that it's under 10. You should be able to do it in under 10. But he's still... Maestro's still another one of those that... because I'm not sure how it works with Aegon, but you cannot get your buffs to trigger unless you hit into his block. So you can't. They don't proc on hit. They proc through his block. So it's a bit of a. I don't know if that's a bug. If you can trigger them through the block, then they should trigger on hit, but they just don't, and they only last for that one cycle. So like you hit into the block, then you go unblock, and then all of your buffs turn up, so you go unblockable. But then, as soon as they expire, they don't refresh or anything like that. So as soon as they expire, you've had it. Which was quite poor, really. Where am I doing? Good practice, yeah, it is good practice. But the thing is, Abyss is like the total opposite of that. It's not really practice. It's just get as much damage done as you can in one go. And that's it. That's your fight done with. There's not really anything skillful in that. And it's the same with the collector. Like Labyrinth, Maestro, you can one-shot him. If you're good enough and you know the timings and all that sort of stuff, then you can get through that fight. But with Abyss, I got away with that really. But with Abyss, you're sort of at the mercy of the collector, because there's no way you can one-shot that fight. And I don't like fights like that, because that just, for me, removes all of the skill away from it. So it's just a money fest, or a unit fest, whichever way you want to look at it. I really don't like how Kabam designed these fights so that you can't just play until you die. You just get timed out. Yeah. Abyss in that way is easy. Is easy units for Kabam, yeah, massively. I mean, if you think they averagely say that 5,000 units per path, apart from path 4 where they say 6 to 7. That's 5 paths. Let's just say for argument's sake, like 5 paths at 5k each. Yeah, that's 25,000 units. I mean, I'm not that good at maths, but the at 3,000 units is 100 quid. That does wrap. That you're talking like £500-600 just to clear Abyss. Unless you have a really stacked roster. So like, you only have to watch KT streams for that. He's doing, he was doing, every X amount of 1,000 subscribers, he was doing another path in Abyss, and he went back through all of them. And I mean, even path 4 that I've just done, I think he got the whole thing done in like 2-3 hours. Where it took me like 11 while streaming. I'm never doing Abyss. You should never discount it, because I said that when Labyrinth came out. I'm never going to 100% that. And then I did. So it wasn't. It was definitely a lot of fun. I do enjoy the Abyss. I do really enjoy the Labyrinth. But you just got to kind of just swallow the fact that it's not anything that you're going to enjoy on a regular basis. Like if you do one path, that's you basically burnt out for a month or two. Dexter Boss, how's it going? Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, but where Abyss is concerned, it's the rewards are now worth it. You got to think the people that did that originally, there was no 6-star Nexus or anything like that in there. They buffed all that, which was nice of them. Yeah, you should never discount that you're going to do it, because when I first did Labyrinth, I took the shorter path on the easy path, and so I'd have had to have run it again. That was how determined I was not to 100% it. And then when I actually decided I was going to 100% it, I ended up having to do an extra path. So don't discount it. Rewards aren't really worth it for me either. No, the thing is now, although they're not really worth it anymore, it's going to be something that sits on your account that's not 100%, and that will start to bug you. And when you do eventually get Aegon and then start going through it, if you can do each path in under, let's say for argument's sake, if you can do them in under 5 revives in each path, then that's easier, realistically, than most Cavalier monthlies, which are pretty samey. Doing fine, doing last path on Ghost Rider's Quest. Ghost Rider's Quest? Which one's that? What are you talking about? Or are you talking about the... Oh, I see, yeah. The one I've just done? Or doing? No, just done. You doing Uncollected or Cavalier? That's right, the Odin's thing is special 3s, which is the worst thing ever to put into a side quest or side prize thing, whatever you want to call it. Because then you have to sit through like a ton of animations to get the 10 units at the end. But we are in the business of hunting units for the last Path of Abyss. Only thing I'm really enjoying doing right now is related to MCCOC is making buff concepts. What do you mean by that? Buff concepts? You'll have to elaborate a little bit more on that one. Dexter Bars on Cav. Yeah, that's not. He's not too bad. I can't remember who I used for him now. But this fight is probably one of the worst ones of the month for Cav, because you're contending with Bane and his degens. But I did this with Archangel in Cav. But if you have red mags and torch, if you have red mags and torch, then you'll walk through Odin and Mangog. He's easy with Human Torch. Oh yeah, I think I did it with Torch actually. Yeah, I think I did, because that's the one where you get incinerates off of it, I think. Don't quote me on that. I did it. I've done a bit since then. like I made one for Ultron, and now I'm making one for Agent Venom. I'll have to have a look at those so I can understand what you're talking about, Nilo. Yeah, I got them both. Then yeah, when you get to Odin, red mags, parry heavy all your way to special 3, get 45 prowess before you let your special 3 go, and he will die. So it's just a race to get to special 3 and you're done. Any revives in this one? Still none. Wow, they are being really tight on the revives. Really, really tight. So yeah, you shouldn't have too much difficulty with the last bit. I did actually put a video out on Mangog. I never got around to doing the one on Odin. Although I should, because it seems to be that most people are taking in Mystics for him. And if you've got red mags for it, then it just makes him so easy. Like, much easier than using Mystics. Although I did have one fight on stream where I lost red mags. I think it was actually against Odin. But I had Claire as backup, and she does just as well because his nullify immunity doesn't work with Claire's special 2, where she puts that debuff on him that stops him gaining any more buffs. So they don't work. They're okay. I'm doing the path with Gillian, Venom, and Civil Warrior. Are you just doing a run through 100%? It's, to be honest with you, this month's Cav EQ has actually been. I don't know if it was just me, but I'm 99% sure it was a lot easier. It was a very, very easy month this month. And because it's a 5-week month as well, I'm going to get to the end of this and there's going to be nothing left. But I'm still going to have like a fortnight of doing nothing. But I will be doing war videos on this season. Because I should have done them before, but I'm sort of having a bit of a conflict of interest when it comes to war, because most of the time I take the same 3 champions. And I'm pretty sure nobody wants to see the same videos of me quaking. And yeah. So there was a couple of good videos where I should have recorded and didn't. So it was definitely one of those that they were just like perfect fights. They weren't particularly exciting fights, but they were definitely ones that that stuck out as they just went perfectly in war. You're gonna die. But where are we? I like made one Ultron for Agent Venom, except that Void boss. Well, this Void boss in Cav is probably the most awkward of the lot. It seems kind of easy so far. I spent 1 revive. Previous months I was spending way more. Tennis just on completion. Yeah, the thing is, it's another one of those that's sort of like roster dependent. But I don't mean to brag, but I 100%ed this month's Cav without spending a single revive. And don't get me wrong, I did die. I did have a couple of horrible fights that I just went completely wrong on. But I had champions in reserve because it just seemed to be like a lot of the paths were dictated by one champion. So, like the Mixed Master, a lot of people were using Falcon, which quite a lot of people have got. Oh, this is or whatever that node is that switches your power if you've got more than them. Yeah. I haven't spent any revive on Cav in ages. Big flexing. The thing is, like, if you've got the decent counters for it, then you shouldn't be spending any revives. But this month, for me personally, was Red Mags did a lot of it. Thor Ragnarok was Captain Marvel movie because she just stayed in binary the whole time. Then it was Red Mags for Thor Jane Foster because she turns off. He turns off the encroaching stun for like 90% of it. But because she's metal, he takes a massive damage reduction, even if it does proc, so you've got really nothing to worry about. And that was another fight, parry heavy to special 3. And then just stand back and wait for her to run at you, to detonate all of the bleeds. And she'd die straight from that. And then it was Torch for Ghost Rider. I think I did Void with AA, and then Red Mags again for Odin, and then Torch again for Mangog. But Mangog, you don't even need to use specials. Just load the pre-fight and just count him up. As long as his charges don't go anywhere near 10, if you've pushed him over a special 2, then you're pretty good to go, and just 3-hit your way through it. Odin got destroyed by CJR and Mangog. I took She-Hulk, which was perfect. Yeah, I didn't bother with CGR, not this month. Oh, Morningstar. This would be a fun fight. If you've got Apocalypse and Cable, and you come against a Morningstar, just hit into her. And then just watch all of the degens just keep going. You don't have to do anything. That works everywhere. But yeah, I never thought of trying CGR, but then again, it's not really a lot of point in me doing any videos on CGR yet because not many people have got him. Alright. Item use. I didn't use any. No, not yet, I haven't. You gotta love how Ghost Rider is now Incinerate immune, but Kabam couldn't be bothered to make Dormammu immune also. Yeah, I know. The thing is, I mean, Dormammu might be one of those that's on the list to be buffed anyway, because his damage is so puny that he's not even really worth. I've got him duped as a 6-star, and I think he's still rank 1 because there's really no point in using him for anything because he's so puny. I mean, the power gain, the power drain is works fine. There's no bother with that, but it's such a small damage from him. That sort of gives you a bit of nostalgia for when you think, like, even the champions of today, that some of the classics are still competing with them. It just shows you how overpowered they were when they came out, like Hyperion. You know, I used him quite a lot in Act 6. I've got 6-star Dorm. I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I got a 6-star Dorm. I wouldn't mind. Pulled him and Korg as 6 stars in my last 2 crystals. Korg's not too bad. At least he can be put on defense. At least he has a use somewhere. But Dormammu went right out the window when Blade came out. So that was kind of the end of him. And then obviously then we had Quake. So then that totally made him 100% useless. So it wasn't even a case of obviously even worth ranking him up because he does nothing. it's not even in the right scenario that he does something. He's if you're going to use him at any kind of level, then you're in for a very, very long fight. Which is a shame, really, because there was a massive hype when he came out. But no one knew how to use Quake. I remember, yeah, that was a... I remember that when that was released, of how good she was. And that was a good while after she was released that secret started to slip out. But then on the other side of that, it was like the... I can't remember what quest it was now, that you could farm like infinite revives pretty much every time in one of the early acts. That there was always a revive there. You notice how fast they fixed that? And that's what gets on your nerves the most. You know, like Omega Red, he was bugged for months, where his death field didn't do any damage until it got to 10 stacks of spores on them. And I'm not even sure. I don't even know if he's fixed now. But you think that's months and months of a bug that hinders that champion. And then I know there's like hundreds of them, hundreds of bugs that hinder us. But when there's one that helps us, they fix it straight away, literally within not even a day. And that is incredibly frustrating. You only have to go onto the forums to find them. Where am I going? Oh, damn. Actually, is there any revives in here? Nope. Yeah, that does get very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. I mean, even like the Nick Fury bug, where he was starting off... he was starting off in his second life. That one went on for weeks as well. And then you had the Spider-Ham bug as well. It's an extensive list. It's an extensive list of bugs. I don't tend to really keep an eye on them because they just piss me off. Persistent charges bug. I had a lot with Nick Fury. Yeah, persistent charges bug. I had a lot with Nick Fury starting in his second phase. Yeah, I personally didn't get that. I didn't have it at all. I don't know why, but I know that the forums were absolutely riddled with it. The forums is a cursed place I shall not enter. Yeah. Yes, there's a lot of angry people on there, surprisingly. But it's another one of those. You know, they have all of these bugs, and they still don't do anything about it, unless it benefits us, and then it's almost immediate. You think, was it like 2 side events ago or something like that, where they had you could rerun. Oh, tickled his nose. Yeah, when you could rerun it, and that was the bug that was their fault, and they, instead of taking it down to fix it, because again it was another bug that helped us. Although I know it wasn't entirely a thing that was originally set out that you could rerun it, but then they banned the people that did rerun it. You know, and I think that's a bit strong as well. You know, like Kabam made a mistake, you capitalise on it, because like the amount of mistakes that you don't make that Kabam capitalises, I think they should just let them keep it. And even now, like, you think like how many missed inputs do you get? Like missed parries, missed dexes. Like the game's as buggy gets, especially recently. And you think how much does that cost you? I mean, you only have to look through my my Abyss run. The amount of times I get the just because I tried to dash back or haven't even dashed back, or it's just not worked. You know, I mean, even you only have to go to the end of my stream on the Abyss run to see where you can clearly see that I'm sitting there holding block, and then all of a sudden it just stops and I get mullered. And that's the pain of it. Or heavy in mid light combo. Yeah, I've seen that. Someone else in an old alliance. I'm still in their chat because I help them out with rank up advice and all that sort of stuff. And someone else put out up there, is anyone getting that kind of bug? And I was like, me personally not. But the one I get on a regular occurrence is the one where you go to heavy and it just stands there. It does nothing. But half of them you can sort of chalk up to it not it being your phone. If there's residue on your screen. I mean, like if you go and have a look at Dorky's videos, Dorky Dave's videos, he goes on about having to buy a new iPad every couple of months because the inputs just don't seem to work anymore. So, he's put that down to his device. But recently, it's happening to everybody. And so, yeah. But they're not fixing that very quickly, are they? No, because that costs you units and money to get that back. Corvus having absolutely no charges also. I haven't seen that one. That's the new one on me. I can't think of any more that there are. I know there's more. I just can't think of what they are. I try and ignore them. Otherwise the game becomes a very depressing place to be. So it's definitely one of those you either put up or shut up. There's not there's not any point in oh, you bugger. There's not any point in sort of dwelling on it because it's going to continue to happen. But the main one I really don't like is when you need a specific champion to get past things. They're the ones that annoy me. Because I think that's really unfair on everybody. Because you're going to get the people that like buy champions for fun. Or buy their luck, should I say. They can get past that. But, I mean, perfect example, Abyss Bishop. Twice I've gone through him and twice he's torn me apart because I don't have Doom. But I either sacrifice a champion spot to bring in someone like Magic, which would cost me in other areas, or I just try and plough through. And although I should have stopped before I got to Bishop on my part 1 stream because I was knackered by then, I didn't. I chose to push on. And I wouldn't even like to know how many revives that cost me to get through that fight. But it was a lot. I would imagine that I probably did close to 1,000 units on that one fight. Because I couldn't get the dex timing down. And then which was equally frustrating. So I couldn't get the dex timing down with Torch when I needed to. I could only do it with Akon. who I don't know why, but his damage, like the damage that should have been happening was like nowhere near. It should have been 85k and it wasn't. It was like 8. And you can go back to the stream before where it did exactly the same fight with Aegon and it worked properly. But went in with that one, don't know why. I have no understanding as to why. But it just would not take off. Alright, so that's that part done. Alright, now on to the last 2. So this, although I should have my units now. Yep. So there we go. Oh, let me just go after the 6 stone. How am I getting... Oh no, it's bonus point special 3, isn't it? So it doesn't really matter too much. Yeah, the only reason I'm doing this was just because the completion thing was on. But I have no idea what I'm going to do when it comes up again. I might just save heroic for another day. Right. Let's switch out. Let's switch out Archangel. Just going to go all mutant. It's just much more fun. And then no revives again. Shock horror. That's so bad. Give me revives, man. Let's take the metal bath. Yeah, hopefully this won't take too long. Now we've been going so far, 40 minutes. DJ Digby, welcome to the chat. How's it going? Nice of you to stop by. We're just having a mince through. Just for giggles. No, to be honest, I just wanted to get the completion event done. And instead of streaming boring arena, I thought I'd do this one. As it seems to be, there's probably more people that are on Uncollected. Although I'm probably not doing much of a justice by using Apocalypse and champions that people don't have. I should really play this properly. I need to give people a better idea. But I still do the fights, the bosses the same way. We'll change in champions for that. Love to see you streaming, my favourite UK streamer. Well, thanks very much. I don't know why I'm your favourite. Out of the hundreds of millions that are doing it. Is it because I get tilted and like really threaten to smash things up? Are you just watching to wait to see if I actually do end up smashing things up? Right. Yeah, because it does get to the point, especially not that fist run on Bishop. I started getting the up then. that was not fun. No, it's because you're good at darts. How do you know I'm good at darts? I can be rubbish at darts. Although I am rubbish at darts at the moment. I haven't really thrown much. How do you know I'm good at darts? Are you watching me? I know I have 2 webcams in here. But if you play and you're on webcam darts have to hit me up and we'll have a game. Because I do love playing. I just don't really, not while everything's shut. I just haven't got the drive to play. Plus with 2 kids in this, it doesn't really leave me an awful lot of time for it. I was actually playing earlier on this afternoon while I was waiting for a phone call, and they were not good. They were not good at all. But I can't wait for the pubs to start opening again. I need a change of scenery. 4 walls are not fun when you have 2 children. One's just turned 3 and the other one's 11 months? Or nearly 11 months? I think he's 11 months now. Sadly going back to college tomorrow. Why sadly? You get to see people. That's better than being stuck indoors, believe me. Got to love a bit of education. You should definitely not be sad about it though, dude. As in terms of school and college, you're better off going than not, because it will set you up eventually. I work better from home. I have less distraction. Yeah, well, if you lived here, you'd have a different opinion. 2 children bouncing off the walls all the time. You could literally get nothing done. It's like you have to book in with your partner just to get everything done. But they're fun though. They are a lot of fun. It's just very annoying when you want to do something and can't. Alright, on to Odin. That was a really short path. Or did I just talk? I'm liking your stream overlay. Oh, what, at the top? I put that in... I only put that in a few days ago. Because I set this up and wanted to make it all myself. And it took hours of watching videos and all the rest of it. And then I had a very nice chat that was in an old alliance that I was in a long time ago. He kept sending me tips. He kept sending me money. And I hadn't even set it up for it. That was how sort of not interested in all that side of it that I was doing it. And yeah, he sort of made me he made me put it in, and then he started sending me money, which was really nice of him. So then so yeah, I put it all together, and but then I didn't have the legend thing at the top. I literally only put that in a few days ago. So it's just for his name. What did you use to make it? Well, that was only a photo editor. That's, hang on, I will tell you. It's pixlr.com. That's pixlr.com. and you can make all of your thumbnails and graphics and stuff like that off of it. But the spinning M at the top, that was DaVinci Resolve, and that was hard. I could have made it very, very simple. I could have made two letters that spun. Just making that M spin, that was quite easy. That was just learning how to keyframe and stuff like that, which didn't take that long. But the one on my pre-stream overlay, that where the outside spins one way and the other way spins inside, that was really hard because it was one single letter. So it looks like two M's over the top of each other, and so I had to separate them to be able to move each one in different directions, and that was really hard. I got very, very annoyed at that. But if I would have used two individual letters, that would have been much, much easier. But because I tried to be clever, it didn't really work out. But I did it all myself, so I did get the glory out of it in the end. Alexis Garcia, how you going? Thanks for stopping by. Pleasure to see you as always. You know, I even said when I started streaming that I wouldn't smoke on stream, just because it didn't. I didn't think it'd be very nice if kids did watch it. But then I started doing really, really, really long streams. So I was like, no, and then I watched Cataclysm, and he smoked on stream. So I was like, sod it, I'm gonna smoke on stream. But if you don't smoke, don't start. If you want my advice. Should we go APOC for this? Probably not. Probably should have gone for cable. Oop. That was silly. There you go. It's oddly satisfying making overlays and logos and thumbnails. Yeah, it is, depending, because originally my idea was just to have an M. And it sort of progressed from there. I sort of didn't go in with any particular plan, and then I learned how to wrap the letters in another with another picture. So like you get your letter, put that in the middle of a picture, and then you cut it so the design sticks to the letter. So I learned how to do that. And then it progressed from there. And then I wanted it to spin, which was cool. That sort of worked out. After I made a 12-minute guide video, it took me like 2 hours to actually get it to work properly. And then I wanted each one to spin in opposite directions. And then that was when it started getting more than aggravating. Mainly because of I couldn't separate the letters, no matter what program I used, and I wasn't going to pay for a program to do it, so it was definitely a big learning curve for that. And then it ended up my first attempt at it took like 4 or 5 hours trying to get it to work. And that didn't work out, so I scrapped that idea. And that was where it ended up where I revisited it because I was really wanted to do it. Ooh. So, and I really wanted to get it done. So I went back to it, and it was over like a fresh set of eyes. So I actually ended up getting it done in like a fraction of the time once something clicked. I can't remember what it was now. I would never put a cigarette in my mouth. No, I wouldn't either. Not if I was you. I have quit a couple of times. But fact of the matter is I enjoy it, to be honest. I mean, I was absolutely fine. I didn't smoke for about. I just quit completely cold turkey. And oh, how many fights have we got left? Oh, that's right. I'll get Horseman on the next one. And I quit for like 6 months. Didn't touch a fag at all. But then I went to a pub, and I had a beer, and that was the end of that. But yeah, if you don't smoke, don't. Really, where are all the bleeds at? Come, Wolvie, everyone wants to see you. Really? 15 hits and no bleeds. Is he like bleed immune or something? Oh, there's one. There's only 23 hits in. Wow, them claws must be really blunt. Wow. But giving up coffee is another problem. I don't drink coffee. I drink tea in like gallons of it. My wife drinks coffee, but she'll only have like one coffee or two coffees at the most in a day. Right, Horseman. Horseman Corvus. But yeah, I don't smoke in the house or anything like that because it just makes everything stink. I smoke in here because it's my garage and it's the only room I have left that's mine. The kids have stolen all the rest. Which was nice of them. Although, to be fair, my room is now the kids' room. So it's not like I had much of a choice. I was at 175k? Or 75k? It was 175k. Tea I don't like as it's just stereotype for being British. That's not true. My mum's is a big tea monster. She absolutely she could pretty much mainline the stuff. It's quite funny you think stereotype. In all the countries that drink coffee, can you stereotype coffee from any particular country? Or are you just drinking coffee just to be not a stereotype? I don't know how you could say that drinking tea's a stereotype British thing. Because I have a couple of very old friends that live in France, and one I met when I was gaming about 15, 20 years ago, and he came over to stay with me for a fortnight back when I was that young, and it was very cool. he, like I say, he stayed with us for a fortnight, and he came to watch me box. I had a boxing match when he was here, and yeah, he came to watch that, and he met my now wife. That's how long we've been together. And yeah, it was very cool. But I lost touch with him for like about 10, 12 years. Because he was like French police or gendarme, as you want to call him. And he was just doing all his studies for that at the time. And yeah, he came over because he was about to do like English exams and stuff like that. And he got to meet all my family and stuff like that. But we recently got back in touch, which was very cool, because like I said, we lost touch about 10, 12 years ago, and the stupid thing is we could only remember our gamer tags. We didn't know each other's second names, so we couldn't neither of us could find each other. And as it actually happened, although I changed phones quite a few times, I've never changed my number. And yeah, it sort of got to that point where I actually recently lost a friend, and the French friend's name popped up as someone I'd like to find again. And I just went through my phone, and his old number was still in there, which I thought was his old number. But what I didn't know is that when you phone France, their dial tone, their ringtone, is the British tone of like a number discontinued. But if you wait long enough, there's a gap in it. But it's exactly the same tone. And that's why I thought that he'd lost his phone or lost his number. So yeah, so that was like a happy ending. So I called him the other day, and I ended up on the phone for about 4 hours, catching up with him. And which was very cool. And it was nice to get back in touch. And he's now married with 2 kids as well. But yeah, it was definitely a nice catch up. But that was from such a long time ago as well. But back then he was part of the same group. We used to play Diablo 2 together. And there was 4 of us that played. And one of them 4 was the one that recently died, which was a shame and very sudden, because back in them days when I met up with the French guy, I actually went and stayed in Dorset with the guy that died and his family. And yeah, it was a very big shame. Very, very big shame. I still play Diablo 2 time to time. Yeah, I absolutely loved that game. That was like the be all and end all of games when that was around. But back then, I was one of the top players of that game. I think I ended up like in the top 5 on the ladders, quite a lot. But the champions and the gear I had back then was just insane. And then my account got hacked, so I never went back to it after that. Because that was one of those sort of games that once you lost everything, it takes months and months to get back to that. But I did have a lot of time on my hands back then, so I could spend days on end item grinding. And still no revives. But yeah, that was definitely a lot of fun back then. It was such a good game. It was just a shame that that they didn't progress it very well, and then they brought in the people massively profiting off of gold farming out of the gambling store. But that was what pretty much killed that game off. Red mags. But no, I do miss that game. But then they brought out Diablo 3, and I wasn't overly keen on that. It was a cool game, don't get me wrong. I mean, I did play it for quite some time, but I never really had the same love for it that I did Diablo 2. And that was like the Diablo 2 with the expansion. Lord of Destruction just... Oh, yay. Yeah, that was the game I used to play. I used to play that game a lot. And then do the torch farming as well. We set like a whole day out for that and just farm torches for fun. And like I say, because there was 4 of us, so by the time we'd come around to using all them keys, that was where it all ended up. That we'd have to set out a day to do all of it, and then we have to set up other accounts. So because that was back in the day when you could only hold 1 torch at a time, so we had to farm up loads of other accounts just to be able to bring them in to be able to hold torches. But that was when like torch theft was rife. Like people wouldn't even have a torch. Or I had 1 or 2 stolen off me. That was like when I was really naive. So there'd be like 3 people, including me, in the room. And obviously, the one guy would show that they've got a torch, and then but they take you to a location where the other guy could jump out and just nick it. And yeah, that only happened to me once. I don't know why, but the second in a game trilogy is always best. Yeah, it's like they try and milk everything else out of it, don't they? After that, or they completely redesign it. I mean, Diablo 3, that was remade. That was actually made when Diablo 2 came out, but it kept being remade and then passed to another company and then being remade again and remade again, until eventually, when it did come out, it had been remade to the point where it had been totally redesigned. So all of the fundamentals of Diablo 2 were not in it. So they might as well have called it something else. They probably should have called it something else. Alright, hang on. I'm going to put my heater on. I'm getting cold. There we go. Right, onward. Then we movies. First movie is always best. Not always. Not always. I can't think off the top of my head. But they're the Matrix. The Matrix movies, all of them were pretty good. And they're making another one. Like back then, that was definitely one of those movies that really messed with your head. but I'm really looking forward to the next one. But like movies like, oh, that was early. I've got to keep going with Keanu Reeves movies. But John Wick 1 and 2 were pretty good. Third was rubbish. The Avengers, there's a good one. All of the Avengers were really good films. There was definitely not one that followed suit on that. Like all of the Marvel films, they were all really good, like 1 and 2. How many more? Let's go with Prof. Anything with Keanu Reeves is amazing. Yeah, he's probably one of my most favourite actors. I can't think who other films, but there definitely is some. There's definitely quite a few more. I can't think of them. A Lord of the Rings, that was another one. Oh, you bugger! Just letting the special go. Toy Story 1 is better than Toy Story 2. Yeah, I'll agree with you that one. But Toy Story 3 with the horrible bear, was it 3? That one, I thought that one was absolutely rubbish. How many did they make of them? Was it 4? I can't think now. I think it was 3. Christ, I can't think of any more. But there's definitely, like I say, there are quite a few famous films that the second one was just as good as the first. Yeah, I've got to think now. Really put me on the spot with that one. And the thing is, I'm a massive movie buff. I watch so many. If you haven't, I know it's not like a 2 movie thing, but if you haven't seen it, I think it's called Tag. With the guys that play like Tag in the States, based on a true story. That's really funny. Terminators all were great, other than the most recent. Yeah, do you know what? I had a binge watch of all the Terminators, and it shows you how much of a budget the first one was on, doesn't it? Like, it's just like terrible graphics and special effects. But if you actually listen to the interview on them explaining that movie, they literally had like a minimal budget, and they were pretty much breaking the law. They were pretty much breaking the law by sort of like running up and pretty much jumping into people's cars and stuff like that. Like, they had no permission to do it. Is it with Jason Statham Tag? No. It's... Oh my god. It's from the guy that gets a tattoo in The Hangover and smashes his tooth out and all that sort of stuff. It's him. Oh my god, I'll have to look it up. Hang on a minute. I'm sure it's called Tag. Yeah, it's called Tag. It's got Hawkeye in it. The guy that plays Hawkeye. And the guy from The Hangover. And I can't think of the other guy of what other films he's in. But if you're into films, you'll recognise him as well. But yeah, it's really, really funny, as you'd expect. But it was based on a true story. So Well worth the watch. And because it's like the only one, and will be the only one of its kind, so it is definitely one of those that you should watch. Me and the wife sat and watched that one, and we had and that was just off of a whim, really. We saw a preview of it. So we'll have a look at that. It's got a funny cast of actors in it. So I was like, we'll watch that, and it actually turned out to be a really good film. And then when you find out at the end it's actually based on a true story, like, oh, that's like actually quite sad. The Bourne trilogy is also pretty good. Yeah, I'll agree with you on that one. I was doing security when the last one of that came out. So I had my booth where I was guarding a hotel at the Southampton Boat Show when that festival came up. Because I did security for festivals. And it was... I was given a DVD player, and I pretty much sat in my booth and watched films all night long. And so in one night, I watched all of the Bourne films in one go. Flip this boss rush, you made it look so easy. It was that easy. I was actually surprised how easy it was. Void. Who did you take first, Nathan? That was probably the better question. Oh, look. The first revive in the whole thing. Do I want to go up there and get it? No, I'm not going to. Begrudgingly, I'm not going to. Why did they put it so far away? Why couldn't they put it where the health was, down here? Oh, that sucks. You always notice that when they give you a free revive, it's always on a path you've already done. There's like another 40 units out the window. I'm just ignoring it. Uh, 4-star AA. My 5 is unawakened and low rank. Cap, Infinity War. I've been putting in work with his debuffs. Well, even the 4-star, as long as he's sigged up enough so that his sig ability is at 33.4%. So as soon as you've got 3 toxins on, it shuts everything down. Any more than that's just a waste. Yeah, and then it was just Void. Void and Professor X, isn't it? But if you haven't got Professor X, then Havoc will work. Or anyone with energy damage. I wouldn't even think that Red Mags works. I'm not too sure on that. Don't quote me on that. Yeah, he's maxed, but 1 hit, I'm nearly dead. Yeah, I don't really know how to help you with that one, to be honest. Unless your masteries are set up wrong. Have you got maxed parry? I would imagine you do. What am I doing? Let's do a bit of Wolvie. Got to go now. Have a great stream. Cheers, DJ Digby. Thanks very much for coming and the interesting chat. We'll catch up again on the next one. Eventually. Oops. Oh, as if that didn't die. I think Seaton just did a release of Champions to do that boss rush. I think I got a notification of that one earlier. I think it was after my stream. That might be worth going to check out. But I reckon that, yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how to help you out with that one, buddy. Yeah, I'm just getting wrecked. Need to just practice. Yeah, well, because if you're struggling with, yeah, because like I say, go and have a look at Seaton's video. Like I say, he's not long put one out on a champion list like per fight, and just see if you have any of those that are equally as good for him. But bear in mind, I do have Max Despair on my masteries, which I do keep on because I use debuff champions quite a lot. So like the Sorcerer Supreme fight with Void, I had a damage reduction from I think it's from Resolve. Hang on, I'll show you. I'll show you what I have on. So yes, I have Max Despair on, which reduces their by 15%. Debuffs applied to energies reduce their healing and regeneration effects by 15% each. And I have an equity. So I get a damage reduction from them as well. And when you're using Void, obviously he reverses healing. And power, as far as I know. What have I got expiring? Oh, a boost. So yeah, it's my masteries are set up totally for debuff champions, really. Apart from deep wounds, because I have never really needed it. How many fights we got left? That's right. But yeah, that'll definitely be worth a look for you to go and have a look at Seaton's. But you should definitely awaken Archangel when you get the chance, your 5-star one, because he does work. He does a lot of work. More so than people give him credit for. I mean, like I say, even for an old champion, he's still really, really good. Especially in like Act 6, there's quite a lot. There's quite a lot of work he can put into Act 6. But yeah, he's probably the only one that I'd honestly say, if you have a generic, even if you're particularly waiting for someone, he's still worth putting a generic into even now. And there's not many that I would say that would really be worth a generic. Doom, maybe, if you're after prestige. Nick would be the only other one that really sort of jumps out as a must-have. And maybe Captain Marvel movie. But not, yeah. And maybe CGR if you got him. What are we using here? Let's go back to cable. Namor would probably be the only other one, but the thing is with Namor, if he's not 200 sig, then he's not worth it really. If you don't have enough sigs to put him up, then it's kind of a waste. My alternate account has a sig 200 Namor. This one doesn't. He's coming up slowly, but because I got a little bit torn between taking in my 6-star into Abyss over my 5-star that was ranked 4 at the time, but I knew I was losing quite a lot of damage and all the additional bits and pieces from the awakened ability. So I put an awakening gem into him and sigged him up to 100. And when you're using heavy, you get a burst of additional damage, which is in red. It's like 2,500 points. So I felt like I was losing a lot. If I was doing like 100 hits, if I was doing like 100 hits in Abyss on a metal champion before I was dying, then, you know, even with a damage reduction, that was 200k I was losing in damage. But I still ended up taking the 6-star in anyway, just because the adrenaline heal back sort of did save me more than anything else. So yeah, so because of the heal back effect from the adrenaline, I decided to go with him, which did pay dividends in quite a few occasions, but is sort of like a toss up between trying to get more damage or healing stuff back. So I still went with the 6-star despite using 100 sigs into the 5-star. I've got a mutant, just haven't ranked him. I need to. I mostly run CGR, Cap, Infinity War. What's that? Domino Rogue and CMM. Yeah. What, as a complete team? Is that your top champion team? Oh, was that one done? Alright, on to the last, and that should be my health and 6 stone. I've just got Cav recently, so really just getting to champ specific nodes. Yeah, I know where. Yeah, I understand where you're at. Unsure of who to take up. because of who you might need. But the thing is, when you decide that you are going to take someone up, then make sure that it's not really for one specific thing, because that could hinder you. It's like the variants. Like if you take up certain champions to do the variants, then they become obsolete rank 5s. You've spent all of them resources putting it into there just to complete it for like very, very little upgrade rewards from it. So be a little bit careful of that. But the main one is if you can't sort of progress through too much of Act 6, then that's where you need to start then looking at ranking champions to get through certain parts. Top champs. I have a few others at rank 4. Right, okay, so I mean CGR. The thing is, you can use rank 4s. I mean, like you'll often see me do it, where I take in champions that are just for the synergies. I mean, if you're running Captain Marvel movie, then really you should be running Nick with her, because that makes her so much easier to play and keep her stacks up. That he's well worth taking, no matter what star that you've got or what rank they are. Same with CGR. If CGR can get through a fight or a whole bunch of fights on that path, then he's better off with synergies. Mainly for CGR, it's Night Thrasher. He will make CGR just kill off fights just that much faster. Who else did you say? Oh, was that Domino and Rolk? So Massacre. Having Massacre there will get you round like Limber nodes and stuff like that. Right, I think we're ready to go. Alright, last quest. So yeah, I would definitely look into the synergy side of it more than having a rank 5 there, unless your playstyle or your ability doesn't allow it. Oh, look at that! Look, a revive I can actually go and get. If your playstyle sort of dictates that you lose champions quite quickly, then that's, take all the 5 stars you've got, all your rank 5s that you've got, but don't bypass on the synergies, because I used to play like that. I would take my top champions in everywhere, and it just turned out that I was like a couple of synergies away from making the fight much, much easier, overtaking another champion that's not so good into a fight that they're not particularly good with. So I definitely keep an eye on that, because I used to play like that for a long time. Like my best champions went in all the time, and I didn't find out until a lot later that that it was a lot worse. I could have actually done it made it much, much easier for myself, even if I just bought in a rank 1 5-star just for the synergy. Oh, that was early. So I'm just pointing I'm just getting to special 3 without him trying to kill me. Just for the daily rubbish. Get the bonus from a special 3 ending finish. Although he did start hitting really hard towards the end of that. Alright, so that's Apocalypse done. Can we make anyone a horseman? Let's make Cable Horseman. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of niche paths in this in Act 6. Like if Mr. Fantastic is one of them. There's a path pretty much sought out for just him, unless you have Spider-Ham. So it's so yeah, there's all sorts of things like that, and the thing is, Mr. Fantastic, if you've got him and rank him for that path in Act 6, when you get to going to 100% it, then that sort of doubles up into a path in Act 7. 6-star Colossus or Havoc. Hey? What's that? Scar of the Slayers raid. Welcome the raiders. Thanks very much for the raid. How's everybody doing today? Which one, Havoc or Colossus? In what respect? To rank up? I can't spell. Is that someone to rank up? Totally depends on your progression. If you are if you're at the point where you're coming into Act 6, the Havoc boss, I think it's in 6.1. There's a Havoc boss in there that the really good counter for him is Havoc. If you're already past that, then personally I'd go with Colossus. Because in Act 7, there's a Vision Arcus that Colossus really tears holes in. Plus he has immunity to quite a lot of things now, and he does hit like an absolute truck. I rank 5 my Colossus. I don't actually even think that I have a rank 5 Havoc. I don't even think I have him as a 5-star. I know I got him as a 6-star, but I haven't ranked him up. Nope, I don't have him as 5-star. But I have him as a 6. Oh, yeah, there he is. I thought I didn't then. I was like, is it on this account? So yeah, but he's only at rank 1. I haven't used him since that boss fight. But even then, he does have uses, mainly on shock paths, because he has such a high tolerance for energy. So like if you get shock placed on you, then it does like 12 damage. You can massively heal off of it. And he just goes insane with his charges. Colossus more utility, but Havoc can wreck. Honestly, man, Colossus don't surmise that Colossus can't do damage, because he can. He can wreck things. The only thing that's annoying about Colossus is he's another parry heavy champion, which there seems to be an abundance of. But yeah, me personally, I think Colossus is better than Havoc. I know Havoc can wreck, but Havoc doesn't have any utility. And in this game, that's pretty much the way that nodes will get you, is by not having any utility. Hence why everyone went so against Cull Obsidian. Bear in mind, like, he's one of the hardest, I think he is the hardest hitting champion in the game. According to the Kabam out notice that they put out. When he first came out, he was hitting like an absolute truck. But then they nerfed him because they reckon he wasn't supposed to hit that hard. But they still intended on him to be the hardest hitting champion in the game. But he has no utility and a very low block proficiency. So that's why people are against him. So, me personally, I'd go with Colossus if you haven't already done that Havoc boss in Act 6. But if you have, then sorry, if you haven't done that Havoc boss, then I would take up Havoc, because he does have uses. Don't get me wrong, he does have a lot of uses. Even in Act 6, he has quite a few paths that he can do. I can't think of any that pop off the top of my head, but he does have them. Oh, that was late. As big as his shield is, you would figure he'd have better block pro, yeah. Well, that's what everyone was complaining about. Like, he's got like the biggest shield in the game. Why didn't I get any more power back from that? Doesn't matter. Yeah, everyone was like, he's got the biggest shield in the game, and or one of the biggest shields in the game. Can't think of anyone else that does. And his block proficiency is the worst. That's why so many people went after Guardian to increase his block proficiency, so he actually was then what he was supposed to be. Right. But yeah, I'd me personally, yeah, you wouldn't be disappointed with Colossus. I certainly wasn't. Once you start building his armors and stuff like that, like I say, Act 7, perfect example with Vision Arcus, Mutant Path as well. Oh, that was supposed to be a parry. Whoa. Don't know how that missed me. Yeah, that Vision Arcus on a mutant path. If you've got Professor X, you can completely cheese that whole mutant path with a 200% boost. With Professor X, get to a special 3, and you can pretty much launch special 3s throughout the entire fight of every fight. So yeah, he's definitely a cheese mode for that. But then, of course, because you've used a power boost and you can get through that path quite quickly, you will get to Vision Arcus. And as he's immune to Cold Snap and Armor Break, Vision Arcus can't do anything. So with your already existing 200% power boost, you can pretty much spam special 2s, which hit like trucks and whip him down really, really fast. So pro tip, there you go. Oh yeah, I forgot you don't knock him down. Oh, that was not good. It's alright, we're good. Got away with that one. Got very much away with that one. That would have been my first death. Against probably the easiest boss out of the whole lot. I don't even need to use specials. Alright, let's see if we get another revive. So that's 2 it's showing me now. And no. Shocker. Okay, so we're going to go... Oh, I might as well go to the right. But yeah, he's I do love Colossus. The only boring thing about him is that he's a parry heavy champion. But you don't get disappointed when you start seeing the big numbers come through. Because it goes up with his armor ups. And when he's awakened, they can have a chance to become permanent. So the longer the fight, the harder he hits. But he's got to be... although the mutant class is pretty stacked, he's got to be one of the top 5, I would have thought. But like most things, you can put that down to circumstance, I suppose. But like anything that's got like return damage, you don't want to be using him. That'd be like a Namor job. Wallop. But yeah, no, apart from that, he's pretty much good for quite a lot of things. Being Incinerate immune, Cold Snap immune, Bleed immune, and Armor Break immune. Although there was a fight, can't think which one it was now. There is someone that armor breaks him, and they shouldn't. I can't remember what it was. Oh, keep forgetting he's got a. Got a reparry to get him. Oh, or reparry when he actually throws it. Dex didn't work. I saw it was unblockable. There you go. Ta-da! How many paths have got left? I think it's about 4. And then on for the disappointment of a dual class crystal. So we're still hunting for Doom. And we all know how fun that is when you're hunting for one champion out of like 100. But at least we have 2 new champions from the last 2 crystals that we've opened. Bishop and Scarlet Witch. So at least I'm safe for now for the level up event. I was beginning to wonder what I'd have to do to be able to get that. Because they are important. Have I got any real reason not to be? Nope. Yeah. So as we've got now 2 champions, I can now get the revive at a level up event. Oh, that was late. Got away with it. It's the only thing when you start getting into a couple of hours streams, you run out of things to talk about. But it's like we're sort of like going for like a mad rush to get it done for the dual class crystal. Before that switches over, but it was one of those that I didn't really need to do it because it is a 5-week month, so it's going to be very dry at the end. Very, very dry. But I'm hoping I'll be able to get a an incursions run together with someone, a guy in my alliance that wants to do them, and I haven't been in there I haven't been in there for quite some time, and now they've patched it for 6-star 6 stones and 6-star shards. I'm game for that. Scarlet Witch was insane pre-nerf. Yeah, she was like ridiculous. I remember back then that was like the dream team thing when the Labyrinth came out, and you needed her, Doctor Strange, and I think there was another one to give you 100% perfect block, so you could pretty much parry your way through every fight in Labyrinth without having to worry about anything. And that was pretty much the way that the entire game went. I'm sure it was 3 champions you needed to give yourself 100% perfect block. And if anyone was around when they nerfed that was like the biggest uproar I think I've ever seen on the game. But she was ridiculously good. Just like power locking, power draining, all that sort of stuff just from just hitting them. Yeah. I was about when that was a thing. Shows how long I've been playing for. This is what I should have done the first time round. This is exactly the same way as you play it in Cav. Exactly the same way. Although I'd probably say to I'd probably say to buff to bait special ones more than anything. But if you haven't seen it, I did make a video on it. That's on my channel if you want to go and check it out. People were pissed. People were more than pissed. I think that there was like People quit in droves after they nerfed that. I think there was I can't remember what the other one was where people quit and they had like thousands of people that quit. Like tens of thousands of people quit because they'd had enough of the crap. Oh, look, we're one away from our 10 units. It all goes towards the same thing. At this rate, we'll be doing Path 5 and Abyss in like 10 months. I am seriously debating doing all of the arenas to get as many units as I can together as fast as I possibly can to get that done. But like about 80% of me is more along the lines of I really can't be bothered. Now look, it's my favourite player. It's my favourite champion to go against. Yeah, I'm really not in the right frame of mind to be grinding every arena. Oh, this might give him a lot of power. Oh no, it didn't. Okay. Look, I can dex it now. Fancy that. That's what happens when you play tired. Everything becomes guesswork. Just at 11 o'clock. Go prof. That's around the time they gave out a bunch of rank down tickets. Yeah, that was one of them. But there was something more serious than that happened. That saw people quit, like lots of people quit. I can't remember what it was. I remember it happening, but I can't remember what it was over. And then there was like a boycott. I think it was like the first one that would, like, first mega boycott that was ever around. By then. As if she's not dead. It was only because I caught her with the last, or the middle bit of special 2, not the bit that knocks her down. I just wish they'd fix all the bugs. I really do. I wish they would. I wish they'd put more effort into that than designing champions. Even if they had a break from bringing out a champion, like for 1 month, just so that they could fix it all. Because that's the only thing that's really sort of holding the game back and just upsetting everybody. There's nothing more disheartening than playing at a level that requires a lot of skill and have that taken out of your hands by a bug. And even for as complicated as this game is, and complex that it is, it's what makes it interesting. I mean, the amount of games that I've played that are just the same thing over and over and over and over again, like Arena, but like a whole game like it. They just fizzle out and lose interest. I mean, Marvel Contest of Champions on a whole is At least it's different in loads of different areas. And not the same stuff over and over again. I hate fighting Apocalypse. I'm no good at fighting him at all. Sometimes I can dex him, other times I can't. That was too late. Come on, very special. I want to practice it. That didn't really work out. I'm getting better at it. But I just get the timing wrong. Quite a lot of the time. Yeah, see, it's when his gun straightens out. It's when his gun straightens out is when you need to start dexing, and I just keep missing it. I'm either a fraction too early or a fraction too late, and always get caught by the last blast. I haven't even begun to try to learn how to evade the his special 2, and that's another one I get caught by the last blast. Just makes me laugh that Uncollected used to be really hard, and you wouldn't sort of dream of practicing dexing things in Uncollected, and now it's just all like meh. That's all right. We'll get hit by that. It's not going to hurt too much. It's sort of become a bit sort of a blasé tier now. Oh, I don't think I've got anyone that's cold snap immune, other than Torch, but we're not using him. I'll just melt him down with cable. I'd love to be able to. I'd love to take Cable into the Abyss and see how he does with the Horseman synergy. Because I reckon he'd do quite well. I might do a video on it, see if it works. Alright, there's been another path done, and then I think we got like 2 left. And then on for the mega disappointment of the dual cast crystal. Torch, pre-fire, and go. Is he going to actually throw that? Uh-oh. Really? Is he going to go all the? Oh, I thought he was going to go all the way up to special 3 then. Dead. I'll rush in, thinking it over, and get wrecked. Overthinking it, you mean? No, I still tend to overthink things, but in a way that doesn't get me wrecked. That it would have been much faster, maybe even easier with a different champion, but I keep going with the safe option. Oh yay, second one. That's what we want to see. Let's go cable. Yeah, because every time things like war come up, I spend like an hour planning my route, planning my counters, and dueling all the people, like the awkward fights on my path. I'll duel that guy's name in the other alliance. I'll go and find him and duel him just to make sure he hasn't got certain masteries on that make it even more awkward. Just so then I know where I'm going and how to play that fight. I've noticed a lot of I've noticed a lot of new champions and reworks have longer special animations. Daredevil, Hell's Kitchen. He was one of the main ones, wasn't he? I must admit, I struggle with that. It's like when does it end? But then there was another one that Kabam released a reply or something like that. That said that all of the specials are the same length, and I saw it on Seaton's stream, and that was what made it funny because they because everybody knows that's not true. Everybody, but that's what Kabam said. But the who's the other ones that had longer animations? Colossus was one. Daredevil's Hell's Kitchen was the other. Whack. Can't think of any others. I'm more of one that if I see it, I know what it is. Like, if I see the champion, then I know what their specials look like. Okay. We should be done in, I reckon, probably about half an hour. And this will be all done with. Oh, that was really early. Really early. Um, let's go with Apocalypse just for fun. Apocalypse after fireballs. Then he drop kicks you. Yeah. I must admit, when I first did that, I ran in thinking it was the special one. Yeah, thinking it was the end of the special one, and it wasn't. It was special 2. And I just ran straight into his feet. I've done it on Havoc special 2 as well, but you have a little bit more time, so you can run in underneath him and still manage to get the decks away if you mess it up. Oh, I just got a bit of lag then. I think the game's going to crash. There's like 2 types of lag that you have to watch out for. One is one that just hinders your gameplay, and then there's the other one that sort of stutters and staggers, and generally you get a game crash shortly after that. Yeah, we're not done too bad for time, really. Whoop. We've been going for 2 hours and 15 minutes. And that was pretty much for sort of a good majority of it, really. Just gonna kill him? Yes. I don't actually know how many parts I've got left. Shouldn't really be something I looked at. I think it's 3. I think we've got 3 left. Three left, and then we're done. Well, this is going to be a very boring month, because then all I have is the side quests to do. Oh, he's well melting now. I don't think I need to go near him. There you go. Because I won't stream Master, I'll just do run-throughs of those. Actually, I'll probably end up 100% in Master, but I'll probably just do run-throughs of the other normal and heroic. Alright, how many have we got left? And is there any revives laying around? Nope. Alright, so I got 1. What's that? 2? I think it's 2. 2 paths left. Cool beans. 2 paths, and then we're done. And then that's going to be the end of this month, pretty much, for streaming any content. Alright, Cable. I now love Cable. Since Apocalypse, I definitely now love Cable. Oh. And Mr. Sinister can't throw them back. I don't know why. As far as I knew, it was debuffs. But for whatever reason, it won't take them off. So we are good to go. Right. Getting more and more and more laggy bits. Come on. And another one down. I did the Uncollected exploration yesterday, got 5-star Ronin dupe and 6-star Phoenix. Major letdown. It depends. If you're after prestige, then Phoenix is a good one to have, but sadly that is all she's good for. But she's pretty much, well, I'd like to say that would definitely be one of those that are on Kabam's list to buff. So she might be well worth it in the end, because she's a major letdown considering she's a class 5 mutant in the film. She's like -5 in the game. But to be honest, you don't have to talk to me about 6-star letdowns. This account and 6 stars do not go together well at all. 5 stars, great. Couldn't complain at all. Apart from Doom, that's the only one I'm missing. But 6 stars, horrendous. For the amount that this account's opened, it's missing so many. Who are we looking for? No, I don't think she can shrug it. She might. I don't think I've actually tested this one. I don't think she can. Ooh. Good job Heavy didn't work then. Otherwise I would have copped that in the face. Oh, she can. Oh dear. That was silly. Yeah, one of the most powerful mutants. Yeah, she properly is as well. Like, in any film that she's in, you know, she tears apart Apocalypse, for Christ's sake. In the in the X-Men Apocalypse film. And Oh, what was the other one? One of the earlier X-Men films where Wolverine had to kill her, and Wolverine was the only one that could after she killed everybody. But in here, she's just like a wet noodle. Ah, there it is. Did there be a game crash soon coming? Oh, nearly there. Nearly there. Which is a good thing because my back's starting to hurt. Because I've been sitting down for a long, long time. Oh, I would just proc regen as well. Prof. Probably could just use Apocalypse for this one. Save all the messing around. Parry heavy fun. Although I don't mind Professor X with that in mind. Ooh. Just because the at least you're building towards something. You're not just sitting there parry heavy for fun. So it's not like a rinse and repeat champion. So like I say, as long as you're I don't mind the parry heavy stuff as long as you're building towards something. Like Professor X, like you're building towards 100 charges. That's the quickest way to get there. So by the time you get there and you have specials ready, then it's just like an unleash of everything. Whereas other champions like AA, he's like underwhelming specials with parry heavy. Colossus is probably about another one, I suppose, but you're just building to a special just to let it go. Whereas pretty much anyone else that's parry heavy, you're not really building towards anything. You're just parry heavy because that's that play style, or that's the way that champion's been designed. So it's a bit of a shame. Alright, one more path. One more path and we are done. Thank God. I say it only took well, by the time we're done here, it would have taken probably 2 hours, about 2 hours 40 to do everything we've done. That's not too bad. I say I didn't really need to be rushing it like this, but the dual class crystal is in for Mystics, so I didn't want to wait because I am really hoping to get Doom. I really, really need Doom. He's going to save me so many units in my last Path of Abyss, unless I get lucky, I suppose. But that's about it. That's the only sort of saving grace I have out of it, is if I get lucky against Bishop. That's the only way. It's the only way I'm going to get through that fight without it costing a fortune. Because there's twice I've been through them now. I don't know how many the first one took, but that was well over 10. And the second one was like 50. I don't know. I don't know if I've been to reply to yet. I'll have to reply to that afterwards. All right. Okay. What's the node on this? Oh, heal or hide. Wicked. I haven't actually looked at any of the nodes on any path I've done. Blah blah. This is like so unentertaining. It's like, as the only trouble, I did cav 100% in like the first day, I think, because I really wanted that 6-star. And because I had 2 to open, I think it was. So I done those, done them quick, and yeah. Oh, that was that because I had the season rewards as well, the war season rewards. So that was why I rushed through that one, so I could do 2. And that's pretty much the most exciting content there is to do every month, because it's all spangly new, and no one wants to sit through like 6-7 hours of Abyss runs. But I've just got to do that all over again on my alternate account. That will not be anytime soon, though. Not a chance. I'll do the easy path. I'll probably stream that one live, because at least you get something out of that. Oh, I thought that was going to be a bit close. Oh, I parried that as soon as he did it. Really? I'll just stand there and take that one to the face then. You're going to die, Mr. Man. Thank you. Okay, you would not think that this was the last part of Uncollected, would you? The last path, just walking through everything. But I have got, I've still got cav EQ to do on my alternate account. But I have already streamed that, so I don't really know if I want to do that again, or whether it would even be interesting to do that again. Because I'm not sure it would be, as I've already done it once. But I don't tend to 100% cav EQ on the other one. Although I'm tempted to this time. Just because of the Nexus Tier 5 class shards crystal. So it kind of makes that really worth it for that. Because that account needs it. It needs the Tier 5. So it hasn't done Abyss. It's only just done Act 6, but it's got a rank 3 Nick on there. Unawakened. But we're going to do 100% Act 7 on that one first before we go back into the Abyss for that. Alright, well finally we are here. The last fight of Uncollected. Just to get through. And that will be the end of this stream after the crystal opening. Which is going to... Oh, so much habit. Ta-da! What variants are the easiest? Again, that depends on your roster. I'd probably say if you have Ghost and Sentinel, then I would probably say the tech variant. But anything 4, 5, 4, 5 or 6 are pretty easy. 1 and 2 are rubbish. And they are crap, like hard. If you, so I would avoid 1 and 2. 3's pretty much the same, but I would probably say the easiest one is probably the tech one, which is 4. But apart from that, oh yay! Look, we've got more tier 5 in overflow. But it depends. If you're running through them, then there are easier ones, but it's all roster dependent, and I don't have any videos for that. But like the latest one to run through was not the easiest. But there is one if you have Venom and Doom, I think it is. Them two can pretty much do the whole thing. I can't remember which variant that is for now. I think that might have been the latest one, actually. But if you don't have Venom and Doom, then you're going to struggle. Right, we are done. So, don't need... oh, I want to keep that, though. 5-star crystals, 4-star. Nope. So it's a Mystic dual class. Still want Doom. Let's pep it. Just for fun. And spin. Oh look, first guy in the reel. Alright, let's see what we got for all that work. Please be Doom. It'd be very nice of you to give me Doom. It won't be, will it? No, 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 Luke. Great. So, still hunting Doom. Shocking. Well, we're not even close to a 6-star. So hey ho, we're all done there. Oh look, we get our 10 units out of here as well. Great. Oh well, so that's that done. And that is me done for this stream. So I will say goodbye. Oh, actually, Nathan is still here. I wonder if there's actually anyone else streaming at the moment to raid. Not by the look of it. Oh, Lefty's on. And Ilac's on. Yeah, I don't think there's... Oh, you are still here. Sure. Should we go and raid... Let's go and raid Ilac. Why not? Okay. So, I keep forgetting to do this, but... if you could... raid him... so, there you go. There's the tag. And there's the link. And... oh, hang on a minute. That was nearly the link until I deleted some of it. And there's the link. So, yeah, if you go raid him, that would be greatly appreciated. Gets my name around a bit more. And kind of returns the favour when he did it to me on the first occasion. So, that's me done. Thanks for sticking around, Nathan. And giving me someone to talk to. And I'll be sure to catch you on the next one. So, good night. And I'll see you another time. Ta-da.